Hey everyone, welcome to my channel again. In this video, we'll be seeing like how do you integrate Unity Catalog function with LangGraph so that you can use Unity Catalog function as a tool. And this will be very important concept whenever you're building any agents inside Databricks because this is a very common pattern. So you define different Unity Catalog function that you can integrate with your agents, right? So let's see how do you do that. I want to create a function from which I can get the customer details based on their email, right? So first let's have this function ready. How do you create a function? You basically define creator function, right? First I've created a catalog that is agents and created a schema inside agents as a main. So I'm creating a function inside agents main. I'm calling it as a get customer email. I'm passing a input like email input, and this is a string parameter and comment for it, right? This comment is very important. If you remember, we talked about that any tool that you add, you should add proper comment or proper metadata so that your agents know like when to use this particular tool, right? So I'm adding it as a like customer email used to retrieve customer information, and this returns a table, and table has some column values that I want to return. And also like I've added one more comment here, and which returns like it returns as selecting from this particular table where email address equal to email input. So whatever email input that you are sending, it will try to match it. If it will return that input. And how this database is coming up, there is already a sample database that is available to you. So I'm using samples, bakehouse. There are different tables that you can play with. So I'm using the sales customer, and which has a email address column. So whatever the user is giving the input, depending on that, I'm searching that particular record, right? So this is a quick Unity catalog function that you can create. Once this is done, let me show you like how does it work. So basically what you can do is like you can call that particular function and you can define the email ID as input, and this will create a query. And right now it is using the serverless compute, and it is able to give you the table here, right? Because there is a match on the email ID. This way you can create any type of function that you need for the retrieval. So just to summarize, we have created a Unity catalog function, and we have seen like how do you call that Unity catalog function. Once this is done, this is very simple to integrate with agents. So first I'm just importing the ML flow for tracing, and you define a state that is message state. Then you define your LLM models that you want to use. Currently I'm using this GPT OSS model. Then you define the tools, right? So this is the UC tools that comes under agents main, right? So this is the catalog and this is the schema, and inside that right now I'm using a wildcard to include all the function that exists inside this particular schema, right? Once this is done, you have to use UC function toolkit that comes from database langchain package. So the way that you import a chat database, similarly you have to use UC function toolkit. Once that's done, you need to pass all your function names. So function name, I'm passing this as a list, and here I'm using the tools function so that it can be used as a tool. So this is a way to define all your Unity catalog function as a tool in LangChain. Once this is done, this is very simple. We will follow the same steps. We'll bind all the tools first, then we'll define a function to invoke that LLM models with the tools. Then usual stuff, right? You define all your nodes, you define all your edges, and you compile the graph first, and then you can invoke the graph, right? So let's see how is it working. So I have already submitted this job. So let me scroll down. Let me go to the chat Databricks, this one, right? Now you see that I had mentioned all the tools inside it, right? So previously I had also created different functions for a project. So currently you see that I'm mentioning all the UC function that exists in the main scheme to use as a tool, right? So that's why in the tool section you're seeing all the tools, but currently we have just seen this one, right? So this returns the customer record, and the email input is, this is the description, this is the comment that we have added, right? Once this is done, it will say that can you tell me about person details, right? So now the assistant will understand, because it has all the tools and also the metadata, like what is the tool is all about. This will know that, okay, I need to call this get customer by email function, and the input is whatever the input that is given, right? Then the tool will be called, and this will give you the value of whatever you are passing, whatever you're getting, right? So this will give you as a CSV file which have all the information for that particular person. Then the assistant will format it because it knows the truth of it, and then it will format it like this. How the agents are so smart, right? Basically you provide all the tools to them, and you do not have to write a if else statement, right? If someone asks your email, if someone gives the email ID, you have to find the information with this particular function, right? You basically give them all the tools with the metadata, and agents will figure out like what tools to use, right? If the agent is failing with one tool call, right, it will try to use some other tool to identify like if it can do that particular task with another tool or not, right? So I think this is one of the example that I wanted to show for the UC function tool integration. I think I have a lot of interesting examples regarding this. As we go on the video, I'll show you more example with UC function tool. I hope that you're enjoying this playlist. If you have any feedback, that if you do not like this particular approach, or if you would like to see something else while I explain this concept, just let me know, because even I want to know like what I need to do to improve my video more, right? So yeah, looking forward for your feedback. So give a comment in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one.